these and more must-have e-commerce features for sellers who mean business. Go to Wix e-commerce and create your online store today.
Fresh opponents.
Did you know that you can make money from YouTube within the next 6 hours with a brand new channel and 0 subscribers? That's right. People are making
big. No championship awarded yet in the NBA Finals, but the Suns an opportunity to get halfway there. Three-point shooting, a big difference. Jay Crowder hits down there. The Bucks early on were attacking in the post. See Drew Holiday spin and get to the rim. Bucks building an early lead. Felt like they played good defense, but they were punished. They left an open shooter. Crowder the corner three. Booker loses Teague, then buries that one. So two different approaches. The modern approach, which really rewards excellent three-point shooting, ultimately would favor the home team. Show me this block again. It's incredible. Drew Holiday blocks Booker at the rim, but it ends up in the hands of Ayton for the slam. And then this sequence here, just incredible. The patience, the discipline, the trust, the connectivity. Use every word you can think of to describe a team that's all on the same page. And 10 passes end up in an and one, which led to an 11-point halftime lead for the Suns. Giannis was spectacular. Outside, inside, he had 20 in the third, the most points in a finals quarter since Michael Jordan, against the Suns as well in '93. The Bucks trailing by 10. As we were watching, the question in the room was, what's the closest the Bucks get? They got to within 5, but this was the story. Anytime the Bucks looked to close it, there was a three made on the other end. Giannis hits. It's a 6-point game. No, it's not. Oh, he missed a three. Yeah, well, guess who's naked in the corner? Chris Paul. 23s made in this game. Giannis goes for 42. Booker's 31. He says hello to Dwayne Wade after the victory. Bucks down 2-0. Been 4 2-0 comebacks in the finals, including 2005. Most recently, 2016 Cavaliers against Golden State. All 4 teams won Game 3 en route to pulling off the comeback.
Hey, 2 things. We got better tonight. I can feel it. We can feel it. We're getting better. We're going to go home. We'll be better at home. Think about the boards. Think about those 50-50 balls. We got to get the 50-50 balls. We got to take care of the board and then go play on the other end. We're getting better. We're going home. That's exactly what we need. All right? Stay together. Stay together.
The exact point Tim Legler made, the 50-50 balls. And it wasn't just that the Suns got them. It's what they did with them when they got them. They punished the Bucks time and time again. They also buried 23s, your specialty. What can you show us about how they got them?
Yeah, I'm so grateful when a sound can set up my touchscreen perfectly like that from Coach Boodle. That's exactly the problem. We talk about them being close, Scott. This is the kind of stuff we're talking about. They are close, but these kind of things have to be tightened up. And let's take a look at this set. It's one of their pet sets. They love running this. Nobody else in the league runs this kind of a set. They put Booker underneath the rim, and he's going to come off this screen all the way up, and then DeAndre Ayton is going to run a dribble handoff. They're trying to get Booker right here, this area for a three-point shot. Bucks actually defend the initial action pretty well. You get a little switch there. Booker ends up with an open shot, but watch what happens after. This just can't happen. So here's Devin Booker. He missed the shot. The ball right now is on the rim. Pretty good box out right here by Middleton. You've got inside position with 2 Bucks here. Here's the problem. This ball is going to end up near the foul line. P.J. Tucker can't do this. You cannot leak out. Drew Holiday's flat-footed. He needs to get here to pick up this loose ball. He doesn't do it. Instead, Devin Booker beats him to the spot. This has to be Milwaukee basketball. And then once they get it, Scott, this is what I was talking about earlier, the over-penetration. This is what the Bucks are doing all night long. They're flooding to the lane on all penetration, and nobody in the league floats baseline better than this team. If you drive baseline from one side, you get baseline from the other side.
Yep,
because it's how you create the passing lane and the vision right there. Cam Johnson, great read. Booker with the kick. 3 points off of a play that you should have gotten a defensive rebound. Here, once again, a little bit of a busted play. Bridges with the drop off to Ayton. And again, look at how much activity is in this lane. 3 bodies. Brook Lopez is out here sort of lost. His head is turned on the play. But once again, we're going to float base. Drive base, float base. And this is even their center making this play. A very difficult pass in traffic for DeAndre Ayton. But this, again, it's off a little bit of a broken play, and you end up with a corner 3 because, one, that's something that you work on in camp. That starts in training camp, the drive base, float base. And you get that ball moving around the horn. You had the 10-pass possession in the highlight earlier. Crazy. That had multiple drive base, kick base that guys turned down. So it's not just the loose balls you don't get. It's what happens at the end of that. It is so devastating to give up threes on plays when you're supposed to have a defensive rebound to give yourself a chance to compete. Budenholzer hit it on the head. They're going to see the film. They're going to see 8 to 10 of those types of plays where the Suns get multiple opportunities on the same possession that ends up with a 3-point shot.
Giannis goes for over 40. We've hammered home the point that the backcourt's got to score more. I think Middleton will. He's done it time and time again throughout these playoffs. Just go back and look at what he did. Look how good he was in that Nets series in against Atlanta as well. I mean, he produced in big ways. But what Budenholzer, maybe. But how do you convince yourself that you really did? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a team, how do you organically make that grow and buy it?
I think you know that, first of all, as a team, when you come off the floor, you know what kind of energy you expended out there. And they felt like tonight, much more preparation into it, much more sweat. They left some skin on the floor. They did not do that in the first game. So that's the first thing. You do feel better about the fact that you played that hard. I see what you're saying, though. Is it demoralizing if at the end of that you still give up close to 120 points? You still give up 20 made threes at the end of that? Yes, that is demoralizing. But I think what they are again going to do, and they did it clearly from game 1 to game 2 with some adjustments defensively, it's what we were just talking about. We have to cut down on these types of possessions where they're punishing us at the end of a possession in which we did everything right for 20 seconds and don't secure the basketball. That's what they're going to hang their hat on. They've got 2 days to go take a look at film, to walk through some stuff. Look, Middleton, bottom line is you got to put the ball in the basket. He's not a guy that's wilting under the light. He's just not that kind of guy. He has shown you before in big moments what he's capable of doing. I'm not worried about that.
I agree.
He has to get rolling. I expect him to do that at home. They clearly had an intention to get Drew Holiday going tonight, Scott, at the start of the game. The very first possession, he ran a play for him to get him a look at the three-point line. He just can't put the ball in the basket tonight.
Yeah.
So you got 2 guys struggling. Giannis trying to do more right now than he's probably capable of to get this team a win.
I just wonder, we saw it last night with the Lightning in the Stanley Cup. Like, anytime they lost, they won. And the Bucks haven't lost a bunch, but they've typically, if they've lost, they've come back out and won. So now you find yourself in this 2-0 hole. They've been there before against the Nets, and they were able to dig their way out of it. Getting back home, that gives you everything's on the table for them to get game 3, and then all of a sudden the mood changes.
Different animal. This is a different team.
I agree.
This is now 13-2 in their last 15 games in the playoffs.
I'm just saying, to the point of trying to make yourself believe what Budenholzer said.
Hey, we want people to watch Game 3, so I'm not trying to say that this is over with by any means. The Bucks can definitely win both games at home.
Sure.
But right now, you're looking at this team and you're saying, you know, what can we do to slow them down? And the main thing right now you need, more than anything else, you need Chris Middleton to show up in a big way of the first half of Game 3. That's going to calm them down tremendously, and it's also going to force the Suns to take the ball out of the net a little bit more, which gives you an opportunity to, again, play in half-court defense and not give up some of that early surge up the floor where they got some threes.
I'm animated just because I feel like I always back Middleton. I feel like people want to act like he's not what he is. He's proven to be an all-star. My guy Stanford Steve says you overreact to what you saw most recently. Go look at his game log through the playoffs. He's been a star throughout the playoffs. Wasn't tonight. Going to need to be for Game 3.
He'll show up in Game 3 in a big way. I have a feeling.
We agree. Tim Legman, appreciate it.
Back here with NBA champ Antoine Walker. We're talking the status of the NBA Finals. Suns have been red hot offensively, which means the Milwaukee Bucks are waking up this morning down 0-2 in the NBA Finals. Giannis was as Greeky-freaky as you can get with a playoff career-high 42 points. What he didn't have was any help from his friends. He's going to need more from his team in Game 3. Antoine, I ask you, with what you've seen so far, what is more likely, a Suns sweep or a Bucks comeback?
Well, that's a great question, but I still believe this series is still very winnable for the Bucks. They're going to have to do a lot of adjusting, and I talked about that after Game 1. They've got to realize that Brook Lopez cannot play in this series. Unfortunately, Brook Lopez is a very, very good player. He's a guy that, but because he's able to make the three, I think Milwaukee and Buds falls in love a little bit too much. But what you have to do is play small. Remember the guy, Bobby Portis, that played in Game 5 and 6? You have to play him. You have to play him with Giannis. He can be dominant. You already dominate inside, but you add a guy with some toughness and some guys who's got a skill set that can play in this series. You got to get more athletic. You got to get quick. This Phoenix Sun team is athletic. They're quick. They can get up and down the floor. You got to play those guys that you have that can do that.
I think you can win this thing.
Sometimes it bothers me so much when you watch Phoenix come down consistently and run the pick and roll with Brook Lopez in it, and they get whatever they want. You can't let Chris Paul have his cake and eat it too. You're going to give him one-on-one with Brook Lopez, and if you don't, when Brook Lopez does not step up and defend it the right way, he's going to make a great pass to 8 or find an open three-point shooting. You cannot give them both. And I think that's where the stubbornness comes in there for the Milwaukee Bucks. I like where they're at right now. I thought Giannis is only going to get they're stubborn because you want to continue to play Brook Lopez. You cannot play Brook Lopez this year. It happens. It's unfortunate. Everything doesn't match up with every team. The Bucks have to make adjustments to be able to compete with the Phoenix Suns. That's how the game goes. Every series is different. Every matchup is different. And then you got to rely on your stars. Chris Middleton and Holiday. Listen, you got to empty your clip.
Go ahead and hire
You can't have a
one of
guy
these
who just sit out 2 games, come back, and be more aggressive than you are. Chris Middleton, you cannot sit back. You just came off an unbelievable Eastern Conference Finals run. You got to be ready to go come finals time. He's too lackadaisical. He takes too many possessions off on the offensive end. He has to stay aggressive if they have a chance to win. But I do believe, because I thought last night only down 6 points with about 4 minutes to go, they was in the game. I do believe this still is going to be a series. I can't wait to see Milwaukee when they get home.
Twan, the only people that's stubborn is the people sitting on this set next to me. I don't know where Wilds is. I know where Nick said it at the beginning of the series. Nick said that he think they're going to go down, 0-2, the Bucks. And now they're down 0-2. History has shown that the team, 90% of the time, the teams that are in this position, they go on to win the title. So you guys are being stubborn. Y'all need to stop this, man. The Suns, they're better coached. Okay, Monty Williams and CP3, throw him in there. The leadership. This is when you know a team is in trouble. A team that is in position and have the momentum like the Suns. Is it after the fact that they're hanging from the rafters? Well, what does that mean, Brandon? What does that look like? They're cheering, they're celebrating on Instagram, Twitter, talking bad about the other team. What does CP3 do after that game? He says, look, I've been on the wrong side of history too many times. These guys haven't had the heartache and pain in the playoffs. They don't have that type of experience. We haven't done anything yet. He is selling those guys down. He knows he's in his moment. He knows this is a moment. This is a moment in history for all those guys. They're not letting up. Twan, they're the most complete team in the NBA, and they've been that way all year. Now, unfortunately, it took us up until March to figure out that this team was the real deal, but this team is the real. There ain't no Giannis or no Middleton or no Drew Holiday getting them back into this. They faced them in the regular season, Nick, and it was the same outcome. Now, I don't care if it was, they beat them by 1 point. They're the better team. So this whole conversation is nonsense, man. Coming back 0-2 deficit 90% of the time. The teams in position, they go on to win a title.
I actually agree with you, Brandon, that this conversation is nonsense, but for a very different reason. And I hate to do this to our wonderful producers, because this is going to be mortifying for them. But this question has a fact error in it. Like, what's more likely, a Suns sweep? How could the Suns sweep when right now it's 2-1 Phoenix? And you might be like, Nick, there's only been 2 games played. I know. It's 2-1 Phoenix, though. Milwaukee has won Game 3. Game 3, bet your life on it. Take your 401k.
Let's go.
There is a 0% chance Milwaukee loses Game 3 at home. Milwaukee has responded in every Game 3 in this postseason. Game 3s have been, by the way, Phoenix's worst games this postseason. They lost Game 3 to the Clippers. They lost Game 3 to the Lakers. They, of course, won Game 3 against the fraudulent Nuggets, but that's neither here nor there. So it's when we talk on Monday, it will be 2-1 Milwaukee. And so then I'm sorry, 2-1 Phoenix, pardon me. So then we will have a real series. And so there are a couple of reasons, Wilds, I still believe that it will be Bucks in 7. And Brandon's right that I said before the series, I thought it'd be 2-0 Phoenix, then 2-2, then 3-2 Phoenix, and then Milwaukee win the final 2. The exact play-by-play of the Brooklyn series. But something happened in Game 1, and then something else happened in Game 2 that has to be mentioned.
One of these recruits.
Which is, the Suns were the only team this postseason that were dancing through the raindrops of all these injuries. Even the Bucks, take Giannis out, they lost DiVincenzo, an important role player, early in this postseason. The Suns had lost no one. And then in Game 1, they lost their 9th man in Saric. And last night, it sure appeared to me, unfortunately, it looks like they lost their 8th man in Torrey Craig. So the Suns are now down to 7 people. It's the 5 starters and the 2 cams, Payne and Bridges. Not Bridges, pardon me, Johnson. Right. Cam Payne and Cam Johnson. I think that will matter the longer the series goes on. And while Brandon is correct, Wilds, that these teams have played 4 times and the Suns have won all 4, and that does matter, what's also true is they've played 4 times and they have proven they have no answer for Giannis. Giannis is going to score 35+ in every game left. I don't think Middleton's going to be an objectively bad player again the way he was in Game 2. The Bucks have already won Game 3. They'll win Game 4, and it's going to be tied up 2 apiece going back to Phoenix.
I totally agree with you except for one thing. Don't bet your 401k. The tax implications on it, if you pull it out early, are terrible. Just go get your local bank. Then bet dog. Then the Bucks will win. I think that Antoine, it'll kill you. Antoine, so the Suns can't stop Giannis. We saw it in Game 1. We saw it even more in Game 2. We're going to see it in Game 3. And then I was asking for an aggressive Drew Holiday. We got a super aggressive Drew Holiday. He had 14 shots in the first game, and then he almost equaled that in the first half. But the problem is they weren't going in. He's getting them at the rim. Those will eventually go in. He's not going to have a historically bad performance. And here's the other thing that I think we can pencil it in as a guarantee. Chris Middleton is going to be good. This is what happened. Against Brooklyn, 13 points, Game 1. 17 points, Game 2. 35 points, Game 3. He had that big game. Against the Hawks, 15, 15, and then 38. Last night he had 11. I think he gets home, he starts looking for a shot, and it starts to drop. We know he's an up-and-down player, and since he's had a down game, I expect him to be up. Once those guys start hitting, I feel like they can go back to Phoenix tied.
Well, Kevin, let me help you out. Let me, for Brandon, too. I was down 0-2. We got dominated by the Mavs the first 2 games, and people wrote us off and thought we was not going to win the series. That's basketball. This is what it's all about. They just protected their home court. Don't get too excited because you see all these Bridges and, Jay Crowder and Cam Johnson and Cam, these guys making shots at home. Let me see you make them on the road in a hostile environment. Let's see if they can do it come Sunday. I'm not saying they're not capable. Let me see them do it. Sometimes it's very easy to play at home in these type of situations when everything is going your way. The Bucks have got to jump on them early, continue to air pressure. I thought they did a great job in the first quarter of doing that. But they also need, Kevin talked about it, Holiday and Middleton have to stay aggressive throughout the game. Middleton just disappeared yesterday. You cannot disappear. You have to continue to stay aggressive.
So basically, we're asking the Bucks, and I took this from Dusty, one of our producers. So we're asking the Bucks to win 4 out of the next 5 games, and the Suns have only lost 4 games in the last 2 months. Guys, listen, stop being stubborn. It's over. Nick, I heard you, Twan. Your prized possession, most prized memorabilia possession, put it on the line. We don't have to put 401Ks on the line, but I got my Jets helmet, and I'm willing to bet it against any prized possession y'all have.
Jets helmet?
Yes.
Why
what do you mean?
Want to win the
this is worth a lot.
That's very valuable to him.
Why would we want to win?
It's very valuable to him.
That's not
What do you have to put up against it?
Don't be mean to him.
I got my notes from today. I'll sign them. I got my notes from today against your Jets helmet for Game 3. They have about the same trading value. We got Jenna's juice.
Tomorrow, the biggest Copa America final in history is on FS1. Brazil takes on Argentina in search of Messi's first major international title. That match is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. So scan the QR code below, download the app, and answer 6 questions about the game for your shot to win $1,000. Coverage begins Saturday, 7 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Be sure to tune in. I am excited to see what Messi can do. But how about what Giannis did last night? He really did everything in his power to even the series with the Suns. He finished with 42 points and 12 rebounds in the loss. He also tallied 3 blocks and went 15 of 22 from the floor and 11 of 18 from the free throw line. So, Shannon, please give Giannis a letter grade for last night.
Skip, I gave him an A- because he missed 7 free throws, and he was 1 of 5 from the 3. But that was really the only flaws I could find in his game. He was ultra aggressive. He did everything. He challenged people at the rim. He had some incredible block shots. He assisted the ball as well as he could. I thought he played a perfect ball game outside of the miss and the 3-point shots, because he lets the defense off the hook when he takes 3, Skip. You let them off the hook, they're applauding you. They want you to take that shot. And I like what Ayton did is that I'm not gonna all of a sudden jump out there on you when you make 1 3. I don't care. Do it 4 or 5 more times, and then I'll think about coming out there and then guarding you. But Skip, since the merger, there have been 4 guys to have a 40-10 finals game and lose. LeBron has done it 3 times. Shaq did it in 01. Giannis last night, and Charles Barkley in 93. So that just lets you know how a rare of occasion that this is, that what he did last night, a 40-point, 10-rebound game, and you lose. But it just goes to show you the greatness of you know who. He done it every time. See what happened when you ain't got to... But we talk about him. We talk about Giannis. I gave him an A-.
He lost. 3 times he lost.
That's my point. Even with 40 10s.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, it's my turn. So you said that the only flaws were his 3s and free throws.
Yeah.
And you sort of swept them under your little carpet over there like they're just minuscule blemishes, like they're little forgettables that aren't that big a deal, right?
Yeah, I docked him for even taking it. I docked him like a quarter of a point for even attempting those 3s.
Okay, because of all those misses from 3 in the free throw line, I cannot go higher than B-.
Oh, man, you stop.
No, it's the truth, because how do we give this man a pass just because he's a sorry 3-point shooter and an even sorrier free throw shooter? So we give him a pass on his grand night of 42 and 12 because, oh, well, he's already bad to begin with. So you're accepting that he's bad, and you're giving him a break for being only so bad last night because he made 11 of 18 free throws. Well, that's only 61%. That's horrible by 2-time MVP standards. Am I right? It's horrible.
No, not by his standards. It's not horrible. Well, it's actually great.
11 of 18. Let's see, you're giving him a pass. You're lowering his bar down.
No, his bar's already low, Skip.
Okay. Well, I can't lower it because by NBA final standards, if you miss 7 free throws in a game, you ain't getting any A something from me.
Well, first, if that's Kevin Durant, if that's Steph Curry, I hear your argument. But that's Giannis. He's been terrible shooting free throws in the playoffs.
Okay, well, why should we allow him to be terrible again in a finals game?
Skip, we're not allowing him. That's what he is.
Okay.
I don't allow a lion to be a lion. That's what he is. He's not a polar bear. He's a lion.
Okay, but a lion has no weaknesses that I know of. I don't know of any lion weaknesses.
Well, he can't beat an elephant.
Huh?
He can't beat a rhinoceros.
Well, he
can't beat a hippo.
He doesn't want to beat him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So why should we lower that? So he shouldn't be the king.
Well, he is the lion is the king of the jungle.
Who made him the king?
Yeah.
When he can't beat there's 3 animals he can't beat.
Okay, well, he doesn't even try to beat them.
Because he knows better.
Okay.
So I want Giannis to know he can't shoot
so you're
3.
saying the elephant should be the king of the jungle?
King!
Really, the elephant?
Skip, look at Giannis, win him on the court and win him off. They're minus 23.
Okay. Well, they've lost by a combined 23 points in games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
If you told me he scored 42 and 12 last night at Phoenix and they won the game, then I would give him an A something, despite these major flaws in his game.
But here's the thing, though, Skip, is that what we see when guys give historic performances, normally somebody else comes along, contributes a little something.
Okay.
Tell me who contributed with him last night.
Okay, well, we've been over that and over that, but that's not the point. We're giving him a letter grade for his performance. So he was 1 of 5 from 3.
Yeah.
So he took 5 3-pointers that I don't think he should have taken 1 of those.
Right, I agree.
All 5 of them should knock him down out of the A category.
No, minus.
Because when he makes 1 3, the world sits back and says, that's incredible. Like, that's an astonishing feat that Giannis actually made 1 3. Why are you even taking 1? Why are you taking 5?
Even if he had gone 4 or 5 from the 3-point line, I would have gave him an A+, even though he missed 7 free throws. You know why? Because I don't expect him to shoot 80% from the free throw line anyway. I don't know why you do.
Well, why shouldn't any superstar, and you do call him a superstar, who's won 2 MVPs and who's a perennial all-star, why should he be allowed to miss 7 free throws and you give him a pass
Let
for
me ask you
that?
a question.
Because you say, well, that's just who he is. Why does he have to be that?
Can I ask you a question? Was Greg Maddux a good pitcher? A great pitcher?
Sure.
He didn't have a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh, no, but so what?
That's my point.
He could make the ball dance in ways I've never seen any human make the ball dance.
Well, Giannis can get to 30 points, and even though he doesn't shoot threes, or is he very good at the free throw line, and still end the game. So he's found ways to do a great job without having doesn't have a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Okay. What if he had made 5 more free throws and 2 more threes? What would the score have been?
But you're saying that
they would have won by a point, right? Okay. Well, I'm just saying you took them. You achieved getting to the line 18 times, and you only made 11. And the world is saying, "Way to go, Giannis, because you're awful."
No.
And people pity him because the road crowds are chanting the quick counts on him.
But Skip, but you didn't do that with Shaq. When Shaq missed free throws.
Yeah, but did he lose? No, he rarely lost.
But you do realize he had Kobe and D-Wade. So what are we going to do? So we just going to dismiss Kobe and D-Wade?
Shaquille O'Neal for 3 straight years was the greatest offensive force I've ever seen on a court. Ever.
Skip, I'm not arguing that. But I'm saying, to minimize his second option in both locations where